Old Dr. Wolf was just starting to get the hang of how this goes in her court. Oh, you want me to be quiet? You're going to interrupt me? I'm just going to go ahead and keep talking. And maybe even a little bit louder. I'm just going to say what I want to say anyway. There's an objection. And before she can answer, Brennan just continues. She never cuts him off. She never gets control of the courtroom. She never rules on the objection. She never provides any guidance. He does what she wants and she's letting him.
Oh my God.
You know what this looks like? This looks like a spoiled toddler. This looks like a spoiled toddler or a spoiled dog, a dog that can't be controlled. They just do what they want. And the owner sits over there going, stop that. And the dog doesn't stop it. And what do? They say, stop it again. And the dog doesn't stop it. Why? Because the dog doesn't give a shit about what you say. Until you follow it up with some action, the dog's going to do what it wants to do. That's what I see going on in this courtroom.
Objection. Nefarious? It would be nefarious.
By the way, this is Brennan being nice. Brennan is going to stop being nice very soon. And I'm just going to warn you about when Brennan stops being nice. Because when he stops being nice, he is really, really nasty.
This is a dog that's figured out these words don't mean anything. These words mean nothing. I don't care about them. Because she's not going to control the courtroom.
I don't know. He just kind of looks and talks like a squirrel. Is the only thing I can think about. I'm sorry. Not sorry. Just a thought.
She's just like, oh, okay, next question, no more comments, like 50 times, and he kept doing them, which, again, there's no jury there. So what is the point? He's like trying to fight with this guy on the stand. That's what it feels like. Most judges I know and practice in front of would have shut that junk down quick. Like, just chill.
This judge has zero control of her courtroom now. Zero. She's the gatekeeper to hell, and the floodgates are open now because she's going to let Brennan do whatever the hell he wants. You think if Alan Jackson was treating a witness this way, do you think she would have stopped him by now? Do you think she would have said, move on, Mr. Jackson? That's not the way we do things in Massachusetts, Mr. Jackson. But she's allowing him on worldwide television. Brennan can do whatever he wants. If you didn't think the fix was in, folks.
Do we hate this? Can we, I feel like we need to move on from this guy.
If they should please, when did you become an advocate for the defense? Go F yourself, Brennan.
You done? Yes, sir. Could you talk about more than just...
You done? Like, I like Dr. Wolf's demeanor and almost some of his little smirks that he made, because it's like, what do you think this is, dude? Like, this isn't some kind of measuring contest. Like, you're not going to big shot me. You're not going to big league me here. I'm an expert in what I do. You're an expert in what you do. You do what you do, but you're not going to sit here and make me look like some kind of schmuck because you're trying to make it seem like something nefarious is going on when my opinions have never changed.
Brennan with the you done. Wow. What?
I'll ask you one more time. There's no jury here for you to perform in front of. Weasel.
Can I just say how insane this is? Can I say how freaking crazy this is?
So even if Jackson and he were talking about this is why I thought this was just wildly unnecessary. Even if he and Jackson talked about every line and every word in his report, they never spoke before he gave his report, and nothing has changed in their analysis. Nothing. It's wild.
He's in the hot seat, but you can tell he doesn't care because he's got nothing to hide. Ladies and gentlemen, here is an honest witness before you. Watch his body language. I don't need to tell you this. Your spidey senses are not tingling. You can tell he's like, what do you need? Can you give me a time frame? I'll give you an answer. You're just being so vague. Intentionally. Brennan is trying to trip him up intentionally to make him look like he's a deceiver. So he's not letting Brennan paint him as such because he's giving him direct, honest answers. Watch his body language.
When did you become an advocate for the defense? That question was kind of funny.
Judge Canone is going to give him all the room on this. I can tell you that if I cross-examined a witness like this, in the courts near where I am, I would be in the woodshed right away. And I'm not sure that's metaphorical. The judge would woodshed the hell out of me. Like, they would just be like, Mr. Runkle, we're going to have a talk about, and I might even actually see a referral to the, like the Law Society. This is insane.
He's not going to risk his reputation and his very high dollar contracts with the US government, the NHL, and many, many other high dollar clients to become an advocate for the defense. I hope he says, around the time when I realized that John O'Keefe is not hit by a car, and there's no way in hell that he got hit by a car and a car did not hit him, and therefore you are wrongfully persecuting this woman.
He's like, sir, I have so much background training and experience that, yeah, 45 minutes is actually brief for the amount of shit I've done in my work.
And he's an honest and truthful witness who has nothing to hide. He's going to tell Brennan everything. And watch how he slowly, methodically makes Brennan look like a fool. This is actually the cross-examination of Hank Brennan by Dr. Wolf. This is the reality of it. This is the cross-examination. You heard that right. I did not just have an aneurysm. This is the cross-examination of Dr. Wolf cross-examining Hank Brennan, even though Brennan is the one asking the questions.
In other trials, we've seen the judge be like, Mr. Brennan, there's no jury here. Please just relax and be respectful. You guys are both professionals. If you think he's lying, prove it with your questions and I'll be the decider of that. I thought it was crazy how deep she let him go and how disrespectful she let him be to this witness, especially when compared to what she allows and doesn't allow to Proctor.
Like, I've been shitty to witnesses before. I've never been this level of shitty to a witness. And the level of shitty he is to the witness is, to me, just unbelievable.
Mainlining has entered the chat. And Dr. Wolf just keeps smiling through it all. He just can't stop smiling.
What would you call me? Probably.
Do not. God damn it, Brennan. We have been so respectful as a chat. The mods have been doing their best. We are working so fucking hard, Brennan. We are trying. No one has tested this chat since, I think, James Spears, the way this chat is being tested right now. And you, sir, are going to get in here and be like, what would you call me? Just Brennan.
And then he says, what would you call me? And I was like, oh boy, that's a swing and a miss. He's like, I'd call you Mr. Brennan. Okay.
Because
survey says.
See, the thing is, in my brain, I'm just like, do it. What would you call me? Do it. Come on, Dr. Wolf. What would you call him? The responsible streamer side of me is like, no, we are not name calling. We have been so good. We try so hard. And the like petty bitch side of me is like, just let it go. Just let it fucking fly. What would you call me? Damn it, Brennan.
To delete text messages in the regular course of business after business is concluded, there's no problem there. I don't see a problem there. I would actually be thankful. It makes me want to hire this guy if I ever need him, because I know that 3 months after the trial is over, if anybody tries to like subpoena him or whatever, the text messages are deleted in the regular course of business because this is a privileged communication between an expert and an attorney. So if he deletes text messages in the regular course of business, where's the problem?
I always love when a lawyer takes the opposite side of the argument that they argue before, right? Do you delete text? Do you have problems with deleted text? Do you have problems with deleted footage, deleted data? Is that a problem for you, Mr. Brennan?
He's hoping that he can get some bits to attack this witness later. And further, if he pisses this witness off, keep in mind, jury's not here. The next day, or later, Brennan's gonna, this guy's gonna get called. And Dr. Wolf is gonna remember Brennan as this giant asshole and might be hostile to him because he is such a giant asshole.
In this moment right here, in this moment in time, when we are about 1/5 through this video, you can see how Wolf is smiling. He's relaxed. He's happy. He's telling the truth. He's telling exactly what he did. Yeah, I delete messages. So what? Brennan, I'm sure, is like, oh my God, I just hit a gold mine. I'm going to have a field day with this guy. I'm about to obliterate the defense's witness. And again, I already told you, foreshadowing, he's going to testify.
I love him. I'm loving every minute of this. You're not going to break him. You're not going to break him, Brennan. You can keep on going on with your bad self, but it ain't happening. Who's afraid of the big bad wolf? Hank Brennan is. He sure is.
Your Honor, if ever there was a time to just full-throatedly yell at someone, Your Honor, now's the time. Just bring it, Your Honor. Just bring it.
Brennan thinks he's got something, but it is a complete nothing burger, and just watching him bury himself is so much fun.
Like, they really needed this $24,000 that he's willing to perjure himself and just lie to Brennan. It's like, I get it. I get like the what did Jack say? The feigning indignation or something. It's like, I get it, man. But like, you want to know how you know this is all overblown? This is all overblown. We all know it because Judge Cannoni eventually, spoiler alert, cuts off Hank Brennan, cuts off Alessi, says, forget it, gives them 5 minutes with Dr. Rechler and no questioning from Alessi, and is like, everybody get out of here. That's how you know this was unnecessary.
I hope this is Brennan engaging in strategy, because if he cross-examines every witness like this, I feel that they will absolutely, the jury will hate him.
Do you have hold music, Dr. Wolf? Do you have hold music? Do you have hold music at your office? Hope Alessi asks him that. This guy's a snake, a weasel of the high. This is why people hate lawyers. This is why people hate lawyers. Because of him. Because of Hank Brennan. I said it.
Alessi is trying to yell, and as Alessi, I'm just backing it up. We're just playing it again. But as Alessi is trying to object, Brennan starts fucking yelling. Oh, boy. What the chat? Motion granted. Chat, motion granted. Motion granted. Motion granted. Just motion granted. Because I don't know what reaches DEFCON, what the fuck is this, except what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Just what the WTF, Brennan? All right, y'all, code red is granted. Code red is granted.
This gets shitty. This gets, yeah.
It's a very believable witness, and it seems that Hank Brennan was getting upset and frustrated that it turns out that actually Alan Jackson was saying the truth. And it seems like he just got frustrated about that. So he's really going at the ARCCA extras. How could it be? How could he, like, that's what it seems like. And there was just nothing there. There just wasn't anything there.
Brennan's demeanor was here. Then it was here. He got the answer he didn't want. And now he's back here because he knows he's got nothing. He tried to fake elevate he went from like a 2 to a 7. And now he's back to a 2. Why? Because 7 didn't get him anywhere. And he realizes it's just a kid throwing a tantrum in court. It's so bad, but it's so good. It's fun to watch Brennan sinking his own ship. It's a lot of fun.
Be professional. That's what the judge should say at this point. That's what I think.
All right, no comments, please.
Do you think
Brennan is showing the world why people hate lawyers. Fight me on it. This is why people hate lawyers, because of guys like him. He has become the poster child for lawyer haters everywhere.
I'm stuck at the feds were closely watching this trial and they were having conversations with us about the trial. He didn't ask anything else about it. Did you hear the wind rushing through the courtroom with how quickly Brennan moved on from that question? Brennan has gone around and around and around on, wait, so you sent him information. That was a conversation. He's like, it wasn't a conversation. We weren't talking. I sent him an email. So you had a conversation. No. The feds were paying close attention to this trial. And Brennan was like, whoosh. They were communicating with us about what was happening in court. Whoosh. Just zoom. Immediate zoom. Not even a follow-up.
And it seems like they were trying to play everything by the book. Obviously, it's a very weird situation because they were hired by the DOJ.
This is brilliant, the way that defense did this. Absolutely brilliant. I am so impressed. So impressed. Because Jackson knew from day one, when he first hired the ARCCA witnesses, he knew from day one that they are going to, the prosecution and the judge are going to bend over backwards to try and screw it up for the defense. And look at that. They tried to exclude them from trial number 2 as well. And they failed and failed and failed and failed again. And defense won and won and won and won again. You know why? Because the defense are running a tight, clean ship.
That's inappropriate. That's actually wrong. You can say, I believe, if you're not positive about something. That's like how it works in our world. That's the frustrating part about all this. It's like embarrassing at this point. Like, this is not just being aggressive and really battling with a witness. This is like, it feels like Brennan feels like I'm the lawyer. I get to ask you whatever questions. The judge is allowing me to force you to sit your butt right there and to waste everybody's time and money. So I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it this way. That's what this feels like. It's like, because he can, he's doing it this way. And I just don't get it. I don't know why we would want to do something like this as a lawyer.
If you wanted to hire ARCCA, you could have, Mr. Brennan. You had the report. You knew what was in the report. You knew everything.
Your Honor, they had a whole ass voir dire. They could have asked. And you know what? They were disinclined to acquiesce. So Lally never asked. He could have sat on the stand and pulled out his phone and said, yes, I said, I have arrived. Like, he could have asked me in 2024 and didn't. And then there was no order to retain any of the information. So you could have asked. It's a good point of questioning on this because, Your Honor, they had the ability to do a full day of voir dire. And they asked about the report. They didn't ask about any communications with the defense team. They could have, they didn't. So we didn't hide anything. They should have turned over the invoice. But they also could have asked.
There really wasn't more there, which I think was very frustrating for Hank Brennan because he was expecting there to be a lot more there. And it turns out that there was really nothing there.
Like I said, there are two parties in this case. You have the defense and the prosecution. The prosecution consists of Alessi, Jackson, Yannetti, and Little. They're the ones prosecuting this case. On the defense side, you have Lally and Brennan. Yes, I said that correctly. I did not make a mistake. Brennan and Lally they're fighting for their lives in this case. They're fighting for their lives. They're trying to keep this momentum, whatever they have left of it, going. And it's dissipating with every ticking second. It is unbelievable how pathetic this case has become, especially in trial number 2. The desperation, the attempts at manipulation and lies have reached an unprecedented level.
Don't hide behind the jury. You cannot do that. Like, you should not be allowed to do that as a lawyer. You are not his boss. You are not his daddy. You are not his judge. You cannot do that. What you can do if you want is ask judge, can you please instruct him to answer my question? You can't do that. You just can't do that. You really can't.
This is why people hate lawyers, folks. Hank Brennan, the poster child.
I'm sorry, what?
No, it's a fucking yeet cannon.
There was a point where he's like, I think you're confused. And Brennan's like, I'm not confused. It's like, oh gosh, it was just too much for me today.
But I want to hear all about the yeet cannon. Yeet cannon. Yeet cannon. These are good questions from Brennan. Yeet cannon.
Right. And again, they're very, very believable witnesses. These are very credible witnesses. They're not people that are going to sacrifice their career in order to save Alan Jackson. That's not exactly what these people would do.
The Department of Justice is closely watching the trial and providing us with information. So that has not changed. So Brennan lying to the court that the feds have concluded this investigation from a now resigned, retired chief of police, by the way. Yeah, she's gone. That letter, like, oh, we're not doing this anymore. I'm telling you, folks, dominoes are falling in every direction. Jackson was right. Jackson said a few weeks ago, he said, after this case, our justice system is going to be changed forever. Now I'm starting to see what he meant when he said that.
This whole thing to me is like, go ahead, Brennan. Try to tell the DOJ what to do. Try to tell the feds what to do. Good luck.
I'm sorry, what?
Potato cannon.
If that's how you want to characterize it, sure.
Okay. Did you take videos of
Do not offend ARCCA about the cannons.
He was being an SOB to those guys, but he was trying to see if he could get something out of them, and he got nothing out of them.
He's like, if you want to call it a potato cannon, fine. He's like, this is a serious bit of engineering. He's like, do not offend the cannon. If you just want to call it a potato cannon, fine. He's like, it's way more awesome than a potato gun. It's way more awesome. Way more awesome. The cannon has been offended.
But really, essentially, there was a lot of this, the lines of questioning from Hank Brennan. He really wanted to get a lot more than he did. Really, really a lot more. And there was really very, very little there. He made a point here and there, but there's really very little that he was able to get out of Dr. Wolf. And Dr. Wolf came out pretty much unscathed, pretty much exactly as Alan Jackson said it. So all these speculation that this is all, they're in cahoots and they're collaborating behind everyone's backs and they're secretly texting each other and calling each other. I mean, the only way you can believe that is if you believe in conspiracies, which we know a lot of people don't want to believe in this case. So if you don't believe in conspiracies, then you shouldn't believe in the conspiracy between ARCCA and Alan Jackson, right? You gotta. It's good for the goose is good for the gander. You got to pick your arguments here.
So he tried to push as hard as he could. The ARCCA witness was a very good witness. Kept his cool, didn't get rattled, was very calm and very sure of himself. And he wasn't worried about his answers. He wasn't worried about what he's going to say. One thing I will say, though, was that was a hearing that turns out to be a big zero and didn't make any difference.
So, but what came out today was pretty clear that it's really much of a nothing burger with this whole ARCCA stuff.
Oh.
So would you stand, please? You're arguing this, right? This was your motion.
That's dramatic. That's dramatic.
So my question is, how do I reconcile the fact that
When they say I only have one question, it's actually kind of a bad thing. I was like, oh shit, at this point. So, yeah.
Go to the podium.
right there, and I expect a short answer?
The short answer, Your Honor, is the rule that you're citing has absolutely no applicability to this proceeding. Can I finish my answer, Your Honor?
Right ahead.
She's the can I finish my answer is because she was pissed off. She didn't like that. And I'm just going to say it takes some tremendous stones to get up in front of the judge and say, Judge, the answer to this is that you don't get to do shit about the rule. Even if it's being violated, you don't get to do shit about this. So y'all can, he's basically citing get the fucked right now.
Has no applicability. That rule is intended to be between an attorney and the client. The court has no jurisdiction to enforce that rule.
I agree. I agree. That's a different body, but I'm asking you how I reconcile that when I'm trying to figure this out.
Well, it's
Mr.
not a
Leslie,
client
you know what?
communication.
You're going to win this, so why don't you just let me make my ruling, okay?
Boom! That is excellent lawyering right there. She says, you're going to win this. Let me make my ruling. And he sits his freaking ass down, and he is so fast, Alessi just disappears.
The fuck just happened? What? Mr. Alessi, square this rule for me. Your Honor, that deals with communications between an attorney and a client. Okay, well, Mr. Alessi, can you please shut up and sit down because you're going to win this? I have hurt my neck with the whiplash that has just happened. I feel just the emotional roller coaster that we are on is not a delight today. I am so fucking confused. Mr. Alessi, you're going to win this. Just let me make my record. What?
Wow. Well, never a dull moment.
I think the judge made a mistake. I mean, again, she's not going to get reversed on it, but she made a mistake by not letting the defense speak about ARCCA in their opening because of that. I think it shows that she did that and it was a knee-jerk reaction by her. And she almost came out and admitted she was wrong because it turned out to be nothing. And she's going to let everything in anyway. And it made no difference whatsoever.
It's crazy that they weren't allowed to talk about it in open.
Wow, just wow. There is a God. There is a God.
So this is something I routinely do when I work with attorneys, okay?
Whoa, hold on. What was that? Bev takes her glasses off. She is staring at Brennan. Brennan shakes his head. Auntie Bev nods and puts her glasses back on. Non-verbal communication between a lawyer prosecuting Karen Read and the judge in the Karen Read case. What? Watch this again.
No, sir. That is the attachment to the email.
You recognize reading that?
Yes.
Do you recognize
Glasses come off. He's looking straight at the judge. He's looking straight at the judge.
This is something that I sent to him, that I did on my own, and that I sent to him. But he never...
They're staring at each other. They're having a staring contest. Look at Bev. Bev is very intently... She's not listening to Wolf anymore. She's trying to find a way to exclude him, and she's waiting for Brennan to clue her in. Watch this.
...of me, and we never discussed it.
So you sent him what you thought would be the best questions and answers for him to ask you when you testified?
So this is something I routinely do when I work with attorneys, okay? I prepare this on my own to prep myself and prepare for trial.
Oh, I think I got it. I think I just got it. Why did he shake his head? Brennan and Bev are having ex parte communications behind the scenes. Yes, I've just said it. That is a violation. Kind of like that judge in Georgia who was having ex parte communications with the prosecutor. I am convinced now, based on this interaction, those two are talking behind Jackson, Yannetti, Little, and Alessi's backs.